actually more and more people approach me and they say, yeah, I heard this blockchain thing, it's going to be maybe as huge as the internet itself. And I always tell them, no, I disagree, because I think it's going to be much bigger than the internet itself, because if you look at the underlying pillars of human society currently, the biggest pillars, legal system, finance, healthcare, supply chain, these big pillars, they didn't get disrupted so far, and now they're getting disrupted by blockchain. Much more important about this whole blockchain thing, that it's really disrupting these big pillars, and adoption and real usage is going to be more and more important. So we are really working on a business side as well. So not just the technology itself that, okay, make the healthcare more transparent, but make it, get more and more people into it and hide the complexity. So because the everyday guys really shouldn't see the complexity. It has to be hide and make them easy to get involved. So in the daytime, I'm developing developers because you can't really find good blockchain developers. So I'm not doing that because of the fun, but because I have to. But it's really, I'm grateful to do it because it's really important to bring this whole field forward. So you really have to give back. In crypto, everyone can interact. So for us in Etheal, everyone can invest. It's good. But what people don't understand from the everyday guy's perspective, they don't understand the risk. That's why diversification is very important, because this is a high-risk business. So even though you are solid, you still can fail, because basically these are just startups using some technological stack which called blockchain, some incentivization as well, which is nice, but still on the fundamental level, this is startups. So this is I see a huge risk here, because on the one side it's good because everyone can invest, they don't have to be sophisticated investors, they don't have to have $1 million and so on and so on. But on the other side, I see a huge risk of everyday guys investing money and they don't understanding what they are getting into. In my opinion, if you look at the projects and what factors contributing to their success measured by the price and the market cap they reached, is like, in my opinion, it's around 25% of development. So how is development? Around 30% is adoption and 100% hype. Okay. So it's really, if you look at the projects, you see on the both end of the spectrum, like projects which are really solid and don't have huge hype, so it's really undervalued. So I'm basically searching for them. It's not easy to spot, but CoinGecko helps a lot. And you see projects as well which are basically overhyped, and the development is not there. So CoinGecko, I guess, gets this very right, that you have to have a balanced view of each step, like technology, adoption, and hype as well, because without marketing, without hype, no one's going to use it. If no one's going to use it, it's not going to get a high valuation and a high market cap as well. And I also think they say the markets in the short term are voting machines, on the long term, waiting machines. So in the short term, obviously, influencers can disturb the ordinary markets, but on the long term, only the projects which have substance can survive. So I always tell my friends, if you really understand this field, that you don't invest in the short time. People say blockchain is not backed by anything, and they don't realize that fiat money is not backed by anything as well. So obviously some people not agree with that, but I think the money aspect and people believing that it has value, it's increasing its value. It's like same with gold. Why is gold cost like what it costs right now, right? It's because people are thinking that it's good store of value. And as it was said before, Bitcoin is a much better store of value because it's easier to divide, easier to stand, easier to store. From the game theory perspective, even if some governments start to ban it, the incentive for other governments to support it is going to increase because the money which is flowing into it's huge. So as it was said before, it's like for the most, from lots of countries, this is a huge opportunity. And 2 weeks ago in St. Moritz, one of the leaders of Switzerland said, okay, Crypto Valley is over because now it's going to be Crypto Nation. So they're pretty much behind this whole crypto stuff. And now, actually, the European Union is like they allocating around $350 million to crypto projects, to crypto research. I guess everyone is looking at infrastructure coins and blockchains because what happened with Ethereum, they shoot up from 30 cents to $3, $30, $300 now $900. So everyone's like, okay, it's happened with Ethereum, so wow, we want to catch the next Ethereum. But I guess we passed the point where infrastructure is the biggest barrier. Obviously, as I said before, if a blockchain comes along with a decentralized exchange where you can pay the gas price in tokens as well, it's going to be awesome. But otherwise, I guess I would recommend for you to look into coins and projects which actually solving real issues. So it's not just about some nice payment, because if you look at the field, all the established players, they either way infrastructure coins or about payment or storing money or sending money, storing value, all the stuff. So you really should look for some projects which solve fundamental problems for real people. That's going to be the future, obviously.